Yo, this your boy, Top Shelf News, and today we talking about Desiree Perez. Desiree Perez. So, from the research I did, I found out that she's a CEO of Rock Nation, Jay Z's establishment, music establishment that he has. She's the CEO of it, and I've also just got word that she was involved in an incident with her daughter. And it's speculation that she had some hand in Tory Lanez, the rapper Tory Lanez, who's serving the 10-year sentence for the alleged shooting of Megan Thee Stallion. So they say she's involved in a lot of stuff, and her name's been coming up a lot lately. And when I say lately, I mean like the last probably 10 years. And I also want to say that it's also proven that she was an informant. She was an informant um, for the feds. She caught a narcotics charge and was pardoned by Donald Trump about 4 years ago when he pardoned Lil Wayne, Kodak Black. She got pardoned as well. So yeah, we wanna break down Desiree Perez, man. She seems to have a lot going on, and she's been behind the scenes operating at a high level for a long time. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna break down what's going on with it. So let's get into who is Desiree Perez, man. Who's Desiree Perez, man? So let's get into that. So why did Rock Nation CEO Desiree Perez receive a pardon? Like I told you, she got pardoned about 4 years ago for a narcotics case. It's alleged that she was selling keys of cocaine and all kind of crazy mess. So let's kind of get a feel who she is. So Desiree Perez, after her 1994 arrest for conspiracy with intent to distribute narcotics, Perez cooperated the U.S. Attorney's Office and received a sentence of 5 years probation, among other offenses. She was later charged with parole violation and served 9 months in prison in 1999. So yeah, it's just this who Perez is. She's also, you know, like I said, the CEO. She's the CEO of Rock Nation. She's you know, the CEO of Rock Nation. To say Desiree Perez, who is CEO of Jay-Z's Rock Nation Empire, and along with her husband, Rock Nation sports chief, Joint Perez, is a long time and valued associate of the rapper. So yeah, man, like she's definitely high up. He said President Trump granted full pardon to Perez. The relevant section of the statement from the press secretary regarding executive grants of clemency reads, Ms. Perez was involved in a conspiracy to distribute narcotics. Since her conviction, Ms. Perez has taken full accountability for her actions and has turned her life around. She has been gainfully employed and has been a advocate for criminal justice reform in her community. So that's just a little breakdown who Perez is, to give people a better idea of who she is, and kind of what she really represents. You know what I'm saying? Like, it will break down. So now we're gonna get into the current situation about her daughter coming out saying that she basically allegedly coerced a whole coup to get her daughter put in a mental health institution, has gotten her daughter's husband locked up numerous times on allegedly false allegations. So yeah, let's get into that next. And then we're going to get into how she may be tied into the Tory Lanez stabbing a few weeks ago. So let's get into what the daughter had to say in the lawsuit that her daughter got, that she's actually currently filing against her mom.
A South Florida woman is taking legal action after she says she spent nearly 2 weeks in mental health institutions for no legitimate reason.
She claims in a recently filed lawsuit that it was orchestrated by her own mother, and others who should have protected her failed her.
NBC6 investigative reporter Amy Viteri has her story.
So legally, I can go home.
No, you cannot.
Why?
Because you're being Baker acted.
Body camera video shows the moments Broward deputies encouraged Demore Hadley to get into this pickup truck with people she says she didn't know.
I can't ride with you and you guys take me?
You're going to be in handcuffs? The dog's not going to be able to come?
I don't want to be in handcuffs.
Okay.
Demore says they took her to a hospital for a mental health evaluation after this doctor signed paperwork saying she was a risk to herself.
What he told me was, we received a call from your family that you tried to OD the night before.
A doctor she says she'd never met before.
Wow.
And according to Demore, it's her own mother who's behind it. In this lawsuit, she claims her mother, Desiree Perez, used unlawful means to have Demore falsely detained under Florida's Baker Act and Marchman Act.
So she's the CEO of Rock Nation, a company that she owns along with Sean Carter, the famous rapper Jay-Z.
The complaint alleges a conspiracy, saying Perez used her money, power, and influence to tear apart Demore and her husband, Javon Hadley, and created an enterprise of individuals to effectuate her plot.
To essentially try to separate me from my husband and to falsely accuse him of domestic violence.
Perez has repeatedly denied these allegations in court filings. A month before Demore filed her complaint, we found her mother filed her own lawsuit against Demore's husband, Javon, citing evidence Perez says he has abused her daughter for years, something the couple has denied in court records. In that lawsuit, Desiree Perez says she moved to Baker Act her daughter, fearing she was at risk of suicide and abusing prescription drugs.
I haven't seen anything in my entire 20 years of practicing law that it is so clear that someone did something wrong.
Attorney Hilton Napoleon is representing Demore in the lawsuit, which claims Perez harassed the couple for years, including making unfounded claims to get Javon arrested on multiple occasions for battery and domestic violence, charges prosecutors did not pursue.
The state attorney's office wrote a 11-page scathing closeout memoranda, which basically said that her mother made false allegations to the police.
In this closeout memo, a prosecutor with the Miami-Dade State Attorney's Office cites Demore's lack of cooperation and raises concerns about some of the evidence and how it was obtained. The prosecutor also wrote Demore was wrongfully Baker Acted last year, something her mother's attorney disputes in this letter, challenging many of the memo's other conclusions.
I have 3 different collateral sources of information that say that she's been acting psychotic, that she threatened to overdose yesterday.
Demore's lawsuit alleges her mother conspired with prominent psychiatrist Dr. Daniel Bober, seen here in body camera video, and others to have Demore committed for a mental health evaluation. Bober cites supporting evidence from her family and diagnosed Demore with an unspecified psychosis. He ordered she be taken to Memorial Regional Hospital, where he is chief of psychiatry, and where results from drug tests taken upon admission were negative, according to records Demore shared with us.
They told me your tox screens came out negative, and I go, I know. I don't do drugs.
In a statement, Dr. Bober's attorney said DeMore was placed under the Baker Act for 38 hours due to the potential risk of imminent harm she posed to herself, adding failing to take appropriate action would have been a breach of Dr. Bober's ethical and professional obligations. While DeMore was at Memorial, her mother further petitioned to have her transported to a different facility under Florida's Marchman Act, claiming again in court records that DeMore suffered from severe drug abuse. A judge granted that petition.
They ran the test. They knew that she had no drugs in her system and she was not abusing drugs. And the fact that you can't do anything about it is scary.
DeMore was sent to this treatment center in Deerfield Beach, where Dr. Bober serves as medical director.
Where are the people that are supposed to protect me from this happening?
According to her lawsuit, DeMore requested a hair follicle test at that facility called Life Skills, which detects drug use for at least the past 3 months, and which showed no drugs had been in DeMore. DeMore was held at Life Skills until April 8th. She shared discharge paperwork that lists a diagnosis of persistent depressive disorder, which she disputes. No medication was prescribed. Court records show DeMore was able to leave that day after her mother voluntarily dismissed the case. But DeMore says the damage has been done, and she feels a system designed to keep people safe failed to protect her.
Money, influence, and power should not be something that's used, right, or abused to hurt innocent people.
Perez has filed a motion to dismiss DeMore's complaint, asserting that the Baker Act and other legal proceedings she has undertaken were rooted in legitimate concern for her daughter's safety.
The Miami-Dade State Attorney's Office tells us they stand by their memo. Memorial Healthcare says they can't speak about DeMore's case because of the pending lawsuit. We also contacted Life Skills South Florida and have not yet heard back. BSO told us the incident involving DeMore is now internally under review. Amy Viteri, NBC6 News.
Collaboration anxiety is.
So we see what's going on now. So we got a better understanding on who she is and the new situation that's going on. Yeah, so her daughter is basically alleging that the mama conspired some kind of coup, some type of coup to get her in like the psych ward, and basically saying she's crazy, her husband is abusing her, done got him locked up several times, all kind of weird stuff. So, and this is her own daughter now. This is Desiree Perez, who we just read who she was, like the CEO of Rock Nation, the person who was convicted of narcotics conspiracy, you know what I'm saying, that was pardoned by Donald Trump 4 years ago. So who is Desiree Perez for real? Like, she seems to have a lot going on. Golly, I used to, I'm about to be 40 this year. I'm about to be 40 this year. I used to be in the streets once upon a time. I ain't no more, but I used to be in the streets, and I wasn't never that deep in the streets. She was a real gangster. She made me feel like I ain't really do too much. But so this is who Desiree Perez is, and this is what's been going on for the last couple of days that done came out that I seen, that came across my desk on YouTube. Everybody's talking about Desiree Perez, and her daughters just came out that's, suing her for XYZ and all these allegations that's been alleged. And I'm like, let me get into who Desiree Perez is. Like, let me see what's going on. And with my digging and my, research that I found, and I seen, like, I kind of got a feel of who Desiree Perez is. Like, she's kind of like a female mob boss on the low that got a record label front to hide her nefarious activities. You know what I'm saying? And then you already been convicted of narcotics, so who's to say you ain't doing all kind of other nefarious things since you got pardoned? Because now you're pardoned and you're scot-free, and you can afford to catch another case if you need to. So you ain't got to report to probation or parole no more. So I don't know. She definitely kind of seems suspect at this point. So now let's get into how she ties in to Tory Lane's situation. So Tory Lane was sentenced to 10 years about a year and a half, 2 years ago, for allegedly shooting Megan Thee Stallion, the rapper, in the foot in some type of altercation they had with him and I think her name is Kelsey, which is Megan's friend and supposedly Tory Lane's girlfriend at the time. And it basically came out that Kelsey found out that Megan was actually having sex with Tory Lanez while they were together while they were together at that time. You know, so that's why they end up getting the fighting. They say, you know, from what I heard, they the new information that came out, Kelsey and Megan was actually the ones that were having the altercation. Kelsey allegedly pulled the gun out on Megan Thee Stallion. They say Megan was putting the Beatles on her, and then, you know, because I think, you know, Kelsey ain't never like, she's like 5 foot, 4'11" or something. Like she's a little bitty, like she's a little bitty girl. Megan is 6 foot, you know what I'm saying, or somewhere in the area, give or take. So, you know, she was probably getting the best of little bitty Kelsey. And the story is Kelsey pulled the gun out on Megan because Megan had got the best of her. So that's allegedly the story that's with the new information that came out. So now we're going to get into that situation. And Tory Lanez end up getting a 10-year sentence, convicted in court, 10-year sentence for shooting her when maybe he didn't even do it. Maybe he's locked up for no reason. And then while being locked up for no reason for like the last year and a half since he's been locked up, he just got stabbed 2 weeks ago, 14 times, almost died. Still, I think, in intensive care right now. So, yeah, like it gets deep, you know. From the research I did, it got deeper than I thought it was. You know, I just, you know, I be hearing about this and that, and I don't be really paying attention too much until it really comes across my attention for me to kind of do my research on it. But yeah, after I did my research, it kind of gets deep. All that kind of ties in with the Desiree Perez situation. And it's alleged that Desiree Perez was pulling the strings the whole time. She's alleged to have conspired with the Tory Lanez trial to get him convicted. She's alleged to have gotten certain evidence hidden and certain evidence, you know, suppressed during the trial so Tory Lanez could get convicted for Megan Thee Stallion shooting. It's alleged. It's alleged that Desiree Perez tentacles reach far. You know what I'm saying? She got, as you can see, we just seen what they said on the news clip that, you know, it's you know, it's hackers, you know, hacking her phone, and like it's all kinds of stuff. Like, so she got a lot of people that, you know, a lot of resources, hackers and who knows what else she got. You know what I'm saying? She's, with the Rock Nation Jay-Z franchise. Like, she's part owner of that. So she got and it's a successful record, distribution label. She's having a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? She's able to basically do a lot of things and get a lot of things done. And she's in the industry. She knows a lot of people. So that's what's going on. So we're going to get into the next video. And this is about Tory Lanez father speaking out when he first got sentenced about Perez. After he got sentenced to the 10 years and got found guilty, this is his father after court on the day the trial was over and he got sentenced. So let's look at a clip of what his father had to say about Miss Perez and Rock Nation.
You want to know exactly how I'm feeling? Yes, sir. I just stood here in this Los Angeles County and witnessed the worst miscarriage of justice that this world has ever seen. You want to know how I feel? I'll tell you exactly how I feel. I got some names that I want to call. Alex Spiro, Desiree Perez, and the whole wicked system of Rock Nation, including you, Jay-Z. Yes. You who say you rose from the gutter, but you have traded and bartered the souls of young men, and you're still doing it. The only independent witness in this courtroom is a man whose name is Sean Kelly. He came to court, and our attorneys, he would not even shake their hand after he went upstairs with Kathy Ta and Alex Butt.
They met on Saturday before. They
met with our witness. And then the man came back, and I sat in the hallway while he sat with Jody Little, the prosecutor's investigator, who acted so dumb, an intelligent woman who did not want, listen, I've seen so much evidence buried in this, and I know exactly what the public out here will say. Don't talk. You will say, I say this because I'm a father. See, I am a father of thousands around the world. I'm a father of my kids, but a spiritual father to many. And I don't make stupid allegations because I got nothing better to do. You all have been bartering and trading the souls of young black and brown men in this country. And I'm calling on all the umbrellas. I'm calling on everybody in this country to begin to rise up because your sons have been done dirty. It's not over. God does not lose.
Never.
And even though we've come to this juncture, trust me, you will see that our God does not fail.
This is not the
I know that this is wickedness. This district attorney, Miss Kathy Ta, is the same one that's witnessed or knew that 5 sheriff's deputies in LA County beat up a Spanish man with the last name Carrillo until the guy was beaten to and passed out. ABC News interviewed that man after Eyewitness News, and he said, I thought I would never be here to see my child born, and I would never been able to be around to see my other child rise up. But I'm telling you, this court system is not for justice. It's about wins and losses, and they do dirty to do whatever they can. Jay-Z, let me speak to you.
He has kids.
Rock Nation. Because my son refused to sign a Rock Nation deal with you.
Yes.
And Desiree Perez, you wicked witch, you snitch.
Yes.
You turned on your co-conspirators, or the whole mafia one of you that was peddling drugs in this country, and you rolled on them before so the Fed could give you a deal.
Now you think
all of you Trust me, I have intercessors, prayer warriors around the world, and they will not stop until you are cut off. No, we don't shoot you with guns, but we know exactly how to bring you down in the spirit.
They all have children.
Enough said. It's all done. Let's go. Open way, guys. Open up.
We just seen the video of Tory Lane's father kind of, having his speech and showing his feelings about what really happened and how he feel about what really happened. And just like I said, like evidence got suppressed and a lot of evidence didn't get presented. So it was a lot of, a lot of miscarriage of, justice going on is what he's saying. And is he right at this point? If you look at it, look at the new situation. Desiree Perez's daughter just came out and said she's suing her mom and Rock Nation and all this, and they was trying to say that she was crazy, got her, admitted into a psych ward and got her husband locked up numerous of times. And we just looked at who Desiree Perez was early in the video. She was convicted of narcotics. Like she's a criminal. Like she's just not white collar. Like she's just not a person who just, ain't never did anything in their life. Like ain't never been in the streets. She was obviously in the streets at some point. But she just got pardoned by Donald Trump 3-4 years ago with Lil Wayne and Kodak Black. Yeah, man, she got kind of a history, and now she's the CEO of Rock Nation, and everything's supposed to went away, but it's like her skeletons are coming out the closet. Things are coming back to her, you know what I'm saying? So, and then she's still obviously engaging in nefarious, activities. And it's coming out. So yeah, man. That's it, man. What y'all think about, Desiree Perez, man? The breakdown. What y'all think? Do y'all think she really did this to her own daughter? Do you think she really did this to Tory Lanez and had a hand in, conspiring to make sure he got convicted? What do you think? So like, share, and subscribe, man. This your boy Top Shelf News, man. And I'll be getting at you with some more videos. If some more information come up about this topic, I'll definitely make another video. Like, share, subscribe. Back. Let's go.